Okay, all right. Set yourself on fire. The game. That's what we're playing today. It's a visual novel. I think it's free. At least it was, yeah, it is free. Released April 24th. And it's got a little DLC of dev commentary and etc. I don't know. We're just gonna game, I guess. We're just gonna go sicko mode or something. And we're gonna see how cool this little game is. So let's just start. Chapter 1, in watercolor. I guess we can pause our music. I'm gonna turn those down a bit. Preferences. Okay. There we go. Another plane flew overhead, quietly tearing through the soft, damp cloth that made up the sky. Meaningless noise. A loud gunshot sent a toaster flying, its metal glistening in the dead sunlight. This sound wasn't meant to be ignored. She pulled the trigger once again. A soft drowned in the wind. Not a surprise, but a disappointment nonetheless. When under her control, cacophony is therapeutic. Weapons are tamed chaos. She's used to it. Fond of it, even. There's always an intense emptiness embedded into the silence at the end of a session. The quietness followed her. She walked with purpose, direction, and sitting firmly in the pockets of her army jacket. The road is mostly forest until you reach the town center. Then, you start seeing garbage. It's a clean part of town. The garbage is human. Old men and women sitting on their plastic graves, smoking compulsively as if they just realized they didn't smoke enough in their youth. Corpulent workers desperately filling their stomachs to sustain the next hours of labor. Rotting memories blowing into the storm drains. Social security numbers with suppressed ambitions. Closing businesses. Quiet death. There's a strong sense of decay in place. It is understood that growth is nothing but an intangible concept, wholly idealistic. Stagnation is the default state of being, and those who dare to hope are seen as demented. The walk home was an indistinct blur. Home was a silent void. A rusty carcass among 20 equally putrid carcasses. Trailer parks house disposable people, invisible people. People who may be discarded after one too many sick days. People who exist to generate value. Today, Michelle generated value. She went to school, did her homework, she fit in. In the system, she fit in, but she was no human. Okay. She did not fit in with those around her, existing outside of their collective awareness. She had always been a ghost. To sleep is to taste death. Your perception ceases and your connection to life is severed. Sleep in itself doesn't feel good. I don't know. I kind of think it does, but it's pleasurable simply because it simulates death. Absence from reality. Chapter 2. Crawl. 5:30 a.m. No one will start Michelle's day for her. Not anymore. It has been 10 months now. They have no address, so he can't send letters. He's becoming a memory. Her father. More idea than person. A man consisting mostly of his absence. She doesn't like to think of him in the past tense, but tenses mix inadvertently. Her father, Argyle, is an intelligent man. Not an intellectual, but an individual who understood the world better than most. He spoke of war, of the government, of consequences of the past. Things most people don't want to hear about. He did not belong in a trailer park. The reality of his living conditions forced him into a subdued existence. Sometimes, memories of him feel like dreams. He'll be back once all this blows over. He'll be back. She thinks of her father on the way to school. The morning embodies lifelessness. The world is standing by in a perpetual state of inactivity. Frickin' jewel-looking monsters, jeez Louise. Broken bodies under bus stops, waiting for the restart of a tired cycle. Lives vanishing into stale air. Souls drooling from gaping mouths, sliding down crooked necks akin to daggers. This stillness is most apparent in the lethargy of the morning, but it still remains once the noise and movement of a working day set in. Minds too exhausted to care. Cogs working towards nothing, towards repetition itself. Standing still, they wait for the day to end, for the week to end, for nothing in particular, for death. At the entrance gate, she takes off her jacket and folds it over her arm. No one at school likes seeing military attire, or anything that reminds them of war in general. It's what men wear when they're sent to die. She likes the jacket, though. It makes her feel big. The corridors are full of young men and women loudly chatting, hurriedly opening and closing lockers, organizing their school supplies, and unconsciously following the waves of a sea formed by the amalgamation of their own bodies. The bell rings and the tide speeds up. Doors serve as selective bottlenecks that drain the masses into each classroom. Michelle lets the ocean carry her. She leads her body to the end of the classroom, sits down, pulls a notebook from under her desk, and opens it to an arbitrary page. Pen and paper never touch. The teacher talks about nothing to no one in particular. From her confinement, Michelle looks at the outside world. I mean, besides the absolutely bright-ass sun, it's pretty. The wind moves a tree branch, and her head moves along with it, softly swaying. Sun rays and shadows dance through the window. A quiet performance, unbeknownst to anyone but her. A little secret made of light. Leaves descend around the students, painting their paths in bright yellows and warm greens. As a ghost, she sits and observes. These are all familiar people, faces she's grown accustomed to over the years. None of them have taken a note of her existence. One day, she'll find people. She'll be venerated by equals and make friends with those worth the effort. Michelle sees herself as an important person in stasis. Her future awaits her as a decision maker, perhaps even as an astute politician or a skilled artist. For now, loneliness doesn't bother her. She's a woman from underground, awaiting greatness. All she has to do is wait. And so, she waits for the year to end, for school to end, It would be the most dreadful fate to end up living a life of mediocrity. Yet, here she is, unable to crawl away from where ideas go to die. There's a remarkable emptiness in the streets during this time of day. Most people are confined to their desks and cages, leaving silence to take over. Her footsteps almost echo in the stillness. As expected, the library is empty. The air is thick, charged with the smell of old paper and moldy carpet. The uneven floor forces an ungraceful gait, as if stepping on a mattress. A suffocating quietude permeates the space. The library doesn't receive donations often, so any book that hasn't yet been degraded by time stands out. Elephant, she observes, taking a tome from the shelf. Michelle finds a comfortable place to read. Elephant. But Heidel appears alone on a plain white cover. No author's name, no illustrations, no details on the back. A single blank page stands before the start of the text. There are no chapters. Decontextualized descriptions of violent murders fill several pages from top to bottom, only occasionally interrupted by snippets of random people's daily lives. 3 paragraphs of friends laughing over a coffee, followed by 5 pages dedicated to a single public execution. Sickening, hypnotic. This brutality is narrated in a dispassionate, impersonal, almost documental fashion. In its last moments, the book narrates the reader's own murder, alternating between the victim's point of view and that of the killer. The final sentence reads, "He put the pistol against your forehead and..." Unwritten, the echo of a gunshot lingers in her mind. Bang. A soft voice whispers. Huh? Chapter 3. Blossom. Walking on opposite sides of the road because they're not gay. So, what do you do? I work part-time at the diner. Boring, but it could be worse. We don't get many customers. No. What do you do in general with your time? Michelle had to stop and think. She'd never put it into words. I just hang around, I guess. I like going to these abandoned mills and processing plants we have all over the outskirts. Go to the woods sometimes. Or the library. Places where people can't find you. Just killing time alone, really. That sounds depressing. I mean, it isn't just standing around. It's more like exploration. Sometimes I bring stuff to burn. Burn? Like, set on fire? Yeah. Nice. What do you do with your time? Nothing that interesting. I play the guitar, some of my own compositions. I write. I like walking around sometimes, but with no real direction. Guess I'm just killing time too. Seems like that's all we do nowadays. Doesn't sound like you have that many friends. Most of my friends came and went. Maybe I'm just no fun. Michelle wasn't used to company. Walking beside this girl brought her a distinct sense of warmth. It felt like sharing a secret habit with an old friend. Her heart beat a little faster than usual. You never told me your name. I'm Alex. Michelle. Michelle's workplace. A diner called Toby's was nearly empty when they arrived. The rightmost table, boy read the newspaper. He wore military attire, leather boots, short black cap, and an elegant jacket. The latter was very similar to Michelle's jacket, the only difference being the symbol displayed on the sleeve. She had ripped off her coat of arms. He looked remarkably young for a serviceman, only 1 or 2 years older than the girls. The usual, Richard? Yeah, he answered without looking. I'll be right back. Alex sat at the counter and looked around. Peaceful silence filled the air, occasionally broken by the turn of a page. It was hard not to feel like an intruder. This universe of calm was not meant to be witnessed. Not by her. Michelle reappeared, dressed in a uniform, carrying Richard's order on a tray. She served him and returned to the counter. People hate these guys, she comments, bringing Alex a cup of coffee. I don't mind them at all. I just find it strange they're so young. It's what they represent. No one wants to remember there's a war going on. I don't feel like anything's changed since they got here. Whatever. It's too little too late. Suppose something does happen. What are a handful of guys gonna do? A few miles north and you'll see. Town's full. And I mean full of military personnel. Guard posts, vehicles, all of that. We're always talking about it on the radio. Are you sure it's that bad? Do you think they'll send more men if it gets to that point? No. Not anymore. I don't know if it's because we're in a poorer town or if they're running out of resources. I've got a bad feeling about all of this. It's just like something horrible is going to happen very soon, and everyone else around us just keeps looking away, waiting until it blows up. Sorry, I don't want to stress you out. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Michelle kept quiet. She looked outside. It was a nice, sunny afternoon. Clouds in peaceful motion, treetops swaying in the wind. Didn't look like the world was about to end. It didn't look like the world was about to end. Certainly. Certainly. Their conversations occupied the whole afternoon. When they left, dusk had already crept into the atmosphere. Do we go to the same school? Michelle asked, trying to examine Alex's face in the dark. Yep, I've seen you around. You've got a memorable face. Because of my eyes? She was used to this type of comment. I meant you're pretty. Her heart skipped a beat. That's a lot of trash. Holy guacamole. Alex walks home alone. Oh, there she is. She opens the door and walks into her casket. The door's fake. The windows are fake. The walls are fake. Something produced by a child who had a faint idea of what a house should look like. The furniture is adorned with empty bottles and plastic garbage. The walls and floor are stained with mold. The minuscule living room has an unpleasant stench that's just too hard to describe. It smells of uncleanliness, like the structure itself is rotting, eagerly waiting for a cue to collapse. Oh. As the centerpiece lies a fat blob of meat. It protrudes from a small couch like a tumor, surrounded by empty cans, and by empty bottles, and by emptiness in and of itself. The thing groans in an attempt to acknowledge Alex. She rushes to her room. As long as she keeps herself as small as possible, there will not be any disagreements. Alex looks in the mirror. Beyond the reflection, nothing. A rough outline suggesting the shape of a person she is. Tonight, the girl lies without her limbs. The air consumed them. She can't hope to run or crawl. Memories of a wasted future rock her to sleep. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick. When? Oh. When I soon pass, I will be gone. Fade in the void. No. Eyes to be old as I fall into none, into ashes. I'll be. Come with me and lose the rhythm. And I am no longer one with the clock. Chapter 4. Small trade. A tired habit. Michelle looked in the mirror. Examining her own reflection was an act of morbid curiosity. She could tell which features had been inherited from her father, but the rest seemed unrecognizable. Half of her face belonged to a dead stranger. Today, surprisingly, the stranger smiled at her. Question mark? Walking to school, she witnessed the same cyclical nothingness from yesterday and the day before yesterday. She passed through the same bridges, and the same thoroughfares, and the same overpasses, and the same closing stores, and the same meaningless, indifferent people bathing their bruised scalps in the coldness of the sun. Nothing had changed, but something had shifted. She couldn't quite put her finger on it. She was waiting for something. That much was clear. Waiting. Nothing out of the ordinary. Most of existence consists of waiting. Waiting for the clock to start your waking day. Waiting for the bus. Waiting for class to begin. Then waiting for it to end. Waiting for sleep to finally take away your consciousness. Moments of distraction masquerade as purpose. Everything will be lost to time. She vegetated for the first few periods. The bell rang. Routine. Hey. Can't believe nobody ever noticed. Like, I can't believe either of them. Well, I guess she noticed. But I can't believe she never, like, saw, you know, her. Because, like, everybody else looks like a weird little silhouette person. So, I feel like another humanoid would look kind of, you know, catch your attention. How's it going? I'm here. Alive, I think. You okay? Yeah. Yeah. I just get kind of drowsy around this time. I get it. Everything's so repetitive. It's like this place was made to drain your energy. I have this weird thing I do when the class is especially boring. What is it? I kind of sleep while still being awake. Everyone is sleepwalking to some extent. No, I mean, I can tune out, let go of life, and drift into this state of absence. Joe, you're always sleepwalking. Dynib. You're never not sleepwalking, especially when you're playing Roblox. Mr. Roblox over here. Oh, they're finally releasing hardcore out of early access. My body's there, but I'm disconnected from reality. So you meditate? I guess. I look at some small detail like a tree branch or a leaf, and if I focus hard enough, if I focus with my whole being, I can lose myself in it. Makes time pass faster. That's kind of scary. Why? What if you can't find your way back? Etc. Incredulously, like, huh? Huh? A lot of, huh? In their interactions so far. You're looking really rough today. You know that. That's just what I look like. In general. Are you hungry? A little, she said, wondering what exactly gave it away. I ran out of food for the month this morning, so I had to... You ran out of food? She asked, taken aback. It's not too bad. I can still eat at work and... Wait here, I'll be right back. Michelle couldn't understand what reason did this girl have to worry about someone else's meal. Alex came back holding 2 neatly packaged grilled cheese sandwiches. Those really expensive ones from the school cafeteria. What? How expensive are they? What kind of school is this? How? Because, I mean, I would say, like, for it to be, like, for somebody to say really expensive, I would lean on, like, the side of, like, for 1 grilled cheese, a solo grilled cheese, nothing else, $6.50 would be, like, really expensive. Maybe, like, $7 or $8 would be, like, really expensive. Anything over $8 would be kind of, like, outrageous. And then, like, 4, 5, and 6 would be like, or at least 5 and 6 would be kind of like, that's like, pushing it a bit, especially like at a school cafeteria. And like under 4, it's like, oh yeah, that's whatever. It's like obviously cheaper to make stuff at home usually, but like, you know, you gotta buy a whole loaf of bread or whatever. But anyways, so crazy to think. Here, one for right now and the other for later, after work. You bought this for me? Just eat. You need it. Her tone was somewhat blunt. Michelle accepted the gesture hesitantly. Today's not my shift, but thanks. What? So you're just not going to eat properly for the rest of the month? I can manage. You shouldn't have to. For the remainder of the break, they enjoyed each other's company. It was nice, simply to be beside someone else. Words felt entirely unnecessary. Mutual, comfortable silence. Shadows of students who looked faintly familiar but incomprehensibly distant danced around the girls. Black silhouettes, laughing and waving. They watched the specters as one would watch a play. Other humans existed as part of a performative act. Their lives extended no further. Michelle imagined herself as one of the men in Plato's cave. Want to hang out after class? Whoa. Whoa. Aw. Nice. You're a pro. The girls leaned against a metal container in the middle of a construction site. The place had been abandoned for years. A common sight. Most structures had been left to rot, some way or another. The town is full of unfinished bridges, unused train tracks, rusted corpses, false promises, skeletons made of construction beams. What else do you do here? Anything, really. Sometimes I climb things, sometimes I kick stuff around. Sometimes I just lie down and wait. And what do you wait for? Michelle didn't know. But until I get bored of lying down. Alone? Alone. I was right. This is depressing. I don't mind. It's nice to be by myself like this. Meditative. I get the sense that all you do is vegetate. There's more to it. In places like this, it's just me and my thoughts. I'm my only witness. No one's around to bother. Am I bothering you? No. You're not like other people. Not like other girls, not like other girls. Hey, Dynab, maybe. Maybe this took place all inside of your home, because what you don't realize is that you're currently unconscious in a coma, and you actually experienced the real Chernobyl, and you're in the hospital right now. So all the gajillions of years after Chernobyl occurred, it was just a couple days in your little brain. You have something they lack. Awareness. Depth, I think. Michelle didn't know enough about Alex to make such a statement. This was an uncertain notion, but one she vehemently believed in, as some believe in God. How come? Talking to you makes sense. You understand what I say. Isn't it like that with everyone? Only superficially. You listen. People, they don't really talk to me. They talk at me. Does that make sense? Like the other person isn't really there. I've noticed. Most people just want to hear themselves talk. They want validation. Validation for what? Their opinions, their worldviews, common sense, I guess. Eventually, you'll learn to tell them what they want to hear. That sucks. I don't want to pretend I'm someone else. I mean, not everyone's like that. You're a real optimist. I wish. Places are good substitutes for people. What do you mean? If you hang around long enough, you can become familiar with a place. Start finding secrets, quirks, stuff you'd miss on your first visit. Like making a friend. Let me show you. Wham! Sick ass rock. Whoa! A stack of cinder blocks. Fuck yeah. Michelle led Alex to a sad little pile of cinder blocks. Look inside these bricks. Well, Hundreds of small spiders greeted them from intricately designed webs. Look at these little guys. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Boom shakalaka. That's what I'm talking about. There's a whole society in there. Cool, right? They have their own little universe. Do you check on them often? Whenever I come here. I wonder if they recognize you. They look fragile. Like a gust of wind or some rain could kill them off. Life is fragile. We have to protect them. Let them be. We aren't their gods. We are observers. There's a place I want to show you. Oh, speed limit 50. Okay. 50 what? The girl stood by an abandoned car. Looking through the windows, they could see the owner's neglected belongings. Interesting, isn't it? It's like someone's life laid out in front of us. Don't you think this is kind of voyeuristic? It's more like a historical exhibition. I treat this place as a museum. Little bed. The back seat had been repurposed as a bed. Tins of food, I would assume. There were sealed food cans on the ground, next to a pencil case, some loose papers, and a folder. A stack of thick books occupied the driver's seat. 2 stuffed animals and a plastic duck sat shotgun. It was undeniably a living space. Every aspect of the interior suggested the existence of an inhabitant, existence of a secret life, remnants of a private past. Besides, the owner is long gone. It's been like this for at least a decade, like a time capsule. No one else knows about this? Aside from us? Nope. I guess this is one of the places I'm familiar with. Seeing those books, they must have been a college student. Probably working part-time not to starve. It's not a very organized space. Must have had a hectic mind. Hard to stay sane in a situation like this, but it's admirable. They were dedicated. They were pursuing something. You can't say that about most people. This was a person full of ambition, full of complexity. Sometimes I wonder what life was like for them. The routine, really. How it must have felt to be reading your uni material deep into the night in that cramped back seat. Michelle continued to stare into the car as Alex rattled on about the protagonist of her speculations. She spoke of this hypothetical being with a particular assuredness, as if the events had happened to her and not to a character. Well, or maybe late in the afternoon, standing outside to get some fresh air, listening to the crickets as the sun set, alone with their thoughts, completely secluded. How lonely it must have felt. How liberating, too. You think this person can feel us? What? Can they sense us looking into their history? They're not here anymore. No, I meant just like we're looking at them from the present. They're looking at us from the past. I doubt it. They didn't know someone would be watching. Maybe they wanted to be remembered somehow. That's why they left all this stuff here. Would that make us witnesses? In a way, yeah. Or ghosts. Michelle felt a pleasant uneasiness. An undefinable sensation would rise within her whenever she glanced at Alex. An acidic discomfort in her throat. Strange, unfamiliar. Tiny anxieties faded in and out of her consciousness at the rate of her heartbeat. Still, she made eye contact. They will respect you when you look at them in the eye, as she was taught. She desired something beyond. Respect is an emotionless courtesy. It may exist between strangers who still have reasons to doubt each other. Michelle wanted respect between her and Alex to be guaranteed, presumed, unquestioned. She wanted to be part of Alex's universe. Alex was a real person, one of a kind. Someone with a conscience, someone who could look you in the eyes and answer your questions thoughtfully. Someone worth the effort. Finally, someone worth the effort. In a dream, Alex would be purity in human form, a holy being, an angel, a gathering of all virtues. Michelle, however, was still drowning in ambition, never quite reaching her full potential. They were not equal. How lucky she was to have the attention of such an important, complete individual. The lamppost lit up earlier than usual. I do feel like a ghost sometimes. In what way? Like an observer. The world's moving on while I'm watching from the sidelines. And I'm just existing, waiting until something happens that'll start my real life. Everyone's a little bit like that. I don't know where I'm going either. I'm just worried it'll always be this way. I look around and I see people made of plastic. And they wait at the bus stops, and they go to work, and they wander around, completing these small cycles. But they're not really doing anything. They're filling their time out until the day is over. I get tired of looking at them. I don't want to turn out like that. Aren't we doing exactly that right now? Damn. Fucking got him, Alex. Michelle wondered if Alex saw her as a waste of time. That's just the nature of things. There's not much we can do about it. I can't accept that. You'll have to. Eventually. Yeah, get in the robot, Michelle. Haha, you know what's up. Generally, people are passive towards their lives because they wouldn't know what to do with complete freedom. We need these small cycles to have some sense of order. So we lock ourselves in different enclosures, like jobs and marriages. If you have enough free will, suddenly you'll have to start making your own choices, looking inward. Maybe then you'll realize there really isn't anything inside you. Wouldn't that be terrifying? To find out you're empty as a person? And how do I know I'm not empty? True. You're like a scarecrow. Also because you're scary. I have no idea. I think maybe when others start treating you differently, that's when you know you're a whole person. A lot of people know your name and look up to you. It means you have something special, something that sets you apart from the crowd. Although people follow those who aren't. Being full as a person isn't anything quantifiable. Not by other people, anyway. We've had empty leaders before. I'd argue most of our leaders are hollow people. Bars. Bars, Alex. One day you'll look at yourself and realize whether or not you've become a real person. No one else will do it for you. Are you a real person? Are you? Not yet. But I feel I have potential. That doesn't mean anything. Everyone has potential. We're all drowning in potential. If you stay still, it's all you have. Well, I have plans. It's all gonna get better when I finish school. I'll move out and go to college, you know? Do something. Be somebody. I don't have to wait around for too long. You're waiting to be somebody? Huh. What are you gonna study in college? I don't know yet. What about you? Nothing really interests me. I'll see what happens when school's over. I'd be glad to be alive by then. Crazy thing to drop, dude. Are you okay? Just hyperbole. What the hell is that? The moon? The Jupiter? The Venus? The Mars? Is that Neptune? The Pluto? Oh, the moon. Okay. The moon hung in the sky prematurely and unceremoniously. Pathetically, even. How shameful of the celestial body, visible to all of humanity, to present itself as a faint stain. Damn. It's crazy. The moon's presenting itself as a stain? Like, God damn. Ugh. Are you hungry? Starving. I know a place around here. I'll buy you something. But I insist. Whoa. You were reading Elephant yesterday, right? What did you think about it? It's uncomfortable. It's a hateful book. I liked it. Hateful? I thought it was more cold and clinical than hateful. Dehumanizing, I think, is the right word. I got the idea that everyone in that world was an alienated idiot. Those who weren't serial killers, anyway. I hated all of them. You see, it's not that they're alienated, it's they want to stay alienated. They think that tragedy won't reach them if they keep ignoring it. They never realized what was happening, right? Alex leaned forward, smiling. The girl had wise, intoxicatingly wise eyes. The look of someone who knew more than they were letting on. Not about any specific subject or for any particular reason. Simply out of habit. Michelle wanted to know everything Alex thought about. Everything she didn't say out loud. Think about the society they live in. You don't have dozens of people killed without some kind of news report about it. Still, they keep laughing and joking while their world falls apart. Blind. They're complicit. I'd be the same. Can you imagine living in that world? Escapism is all we'd have. And it's that escapism that makes us prey. Damn. She's edgy. Darkness eats the sun and the people. In the limbo between days, are allowed to dream. They may rest their bodies and put their ambitions to rest, knowing the next morning will drag them back into the cyclical pointlessness. Little do they know, this moment is part of the cycle itself. A few hours of control are granted to feign meaning, so that thousands of little humans are content with the lives they've fallen into, so that they forget to imagine a better world. The streets are quiet, too quiet, imbued with a disconcerting tranquility, similar to that of the morning, only the hues have changed. Tomorrow will come, to the dismay of many, if only one could sleep forever. Michelle and Alex wandered into the night, both knowing they'd have to part ways soon, but neither willing to mention it. I think it's probably actually just like Daria. Except she's also depressed like Shinji. I assume you're talking about Shinji from Big Hero 6. I like you. See? Lesbian. Ah. See? Even more lesbian. As a friend, I mean. Why? I don't know. Oh. We can't choose the people we're drawn to. Why do you like me? You bought me food. And you kept me company, but that sounds too much like a trade, doesn't it? How do you know I like you? Intuition. Oh. Want to do this again tomorrow? I'll be at work all afternoon. Still have some time today, though. This late? Your parents are relaxed like that? Initially, Michelle replied with silence. Alex could sense she had asked the wrong question. I don't have parents. Army sent my dad away. Been a few months already. Oh. I'm sorry. It's fine. He'll be back once this all blows over. Sorry, I didn't want to bring you down. It's okay. I can listen if you want to talk about it. It's empty. The rest of the walk was silent. Damn. It's still strange coming back to an empty home. Every time she foolishly expects to see Aigo, still not quite sure how to pronounce the name, assuming the improbable to have occurred. Michelle, I've been waiting for you all day. My God, Dad, you're home. I knew you'd come. What happened? They let me go. I was discharged. I love you. I love you so much. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? I'm fine. They realized my place isn't among the cannon fodder. I told them I was heartbroken to leave my daughter behind, and they sent me back. Dad, please, don't ever leave me again. I won't. I promise. I love you. This is stupid. He doesn't talk like that. When she starts thinking about him, it's hard to stop. Some would call him paranoid. He slept with a revolver next to his bed and read 3 different newspapers to get unbiased information, as he explained. From an early age, Michelle would hear about how terrible people run the country and how their carelessness can and will kill their own population. He encouraged her to do well in her studies so she could crawl out of poverty and save her own skin. He's gone. Now, he's on a battlefield somewhere, being shot at by those who don't know his name, shooting at those whose names he doesn't know. No longer human, but a weapon. She's got her gun out. She pulls the gun from her pocket, unloads it, and points it at the wall. His words linger in her mind still. One day, Michelle, someone may want to take away your freedom. By God, I hope that day doesn't come. But if it does, do not be afraid of taking action. The firearm was a gift from him. He taught her about safety, taught her that weapons are tools and not toys, taught that they should be used only as a last resort. He would be disappointed in her she wishes this mattered. Why? Why did this happen to her? Couldn't have been someone else's father? Thought occurs. If she disappeared, if she died suddenly, no one would feel her absence. No, but that's not quite true. Alex would. Alex might have even felt her absence before. You know? So, checkmate. I like setting things on fire. The different ways in which an object falls apart brings me some twisted sort of joy. A sadistic kind of satisfaction. The final moments of any given object are similar to the final moments of any given creature. Something you notice after watching tiny rodents get killed by cats. Once the feline's teeth crush the head or spinal cord of their prey, squirming turns into stillness, and desperation turns into acceptance. I mean, not really accepting it, but you know, whatever. Their limbs slowly falter as their bodies succumb to darkness. A small creature, previously stored a soul, becomes an object. Becomes nothing. The occasional spasm may serve as a reminder of what little subjectivity could fit inside their tiny minds that exist no longer. Nervous impulses searching for a brain that won't answer. So, I like burning things. I like to deprive items of purpose, rendering them useless. Objects are not alive. The soul of an object lies in its purpose, its value. A blender is only a blender until it stops cutting fruit. Then it becomes garbage. It becomes nothing. What is a person with no soul? An object. And an object without value? Chapter 5, The Sound of Rain. I think that's where I'm going to stop, though. I've enjoyed this little visual novel so far. I'm going to save. Vacant. I'm going to be done for the day. Thank goodness Dynib was here to listen to some stories, reading somebody's fiction, like the old days, reading fan fiction. But you know, that was nice enough. That was a nice little thing. Maybe we can play some V Rising in the upcoming days. You can't quite grasp the deep intricacies of anything. The only deep intricacies you can understand is the deep intricacies of how bad hardcore mode and TDS is. And how much you hate yourself for it. It's the only thing that makes you feel alive. Then Slay the Spire. 2. But anyways, you know, maybe we'll play some V Rising in the upcoming days. I'll have probably plenty of time Sunday to play, so we could probably play some V Rising Sunday. because I know, unless you're busy, but because I do got you figured out. Got you figured out like a can of worms. Anyways, I'll talk to you later, Dynib. Good night, famalam. I'll see you in the forests and the castles soon, but not today, but soon. A Lamau XD XOX.